I'm Angelica. Today we're going to be doing the review of Sucker Punch by Zack Snyder. He also did 300 and he did Watchmen. Good comic book, not a very good movie, but yeah, let's go. Okay, so the story starts with Baby Doll's mother dies and her stepfather finds out that everything was left to the girls. This causes the father to try to take the money for himself. In this evil plan, Baby Doll accidentally kills her sister. So the stepfather finds a way to make it so it's Baby Doll's fault, sends her to an asylum, and that's where you're thrown into a completely different world once you enter the theater in the asylum. You're taken to the brothel, which is a completely different layer of the story. By the way, before we go any further, let's talk about the different layers of Sucker Punch. Layer 1, asylum, which is the reality. Layer 2, the brothel, which is where all the sexy ladies are. And layer 3 is where all the action takes place, in their imaginations where they escape. Also, we find out in the brothel and the asylum, so layers 1 and 2, the point of the story is for Baby Doll to find an escape. The girls want to go with her. In doing so, they must find 4 items. With these 4 items comes 4 epic battles, which are visually stimulating. There, you get a lot of panty shots and nice boobage and stuff. It's really awesome and a lot of fan service, so you can't complain there. What we loved about the movie and what everyone loves about the movie is how beautiful it was. It was visually stimulating, and there were hot chicks, there were explosions, there was everything that you could want in our artistic moving work of art is what it was. 2 hours long, yeah, but it's better than Avatar. I know I'm going to make some of you mad by saying that, but that's all Avatar was to me. Anyway, back to the movie. What I also loved was the story. Can't complain about that. Being a girl, had plenty of girl power, loved it absolutely. And guys, you can't complain. It was really hot. You can't complain about any whores or anything like that. They're sexy, so just man up and stick with it. Another thing that was completely awesome was the soundtrack. I've probably been annoying the crap out of everyone that I live with because I've been listening to it over and over. But it's remakes of songs, yes, but it's by Emily Browning, who plays Baby Doll, which makes it even that much cooler. The fact that the lead person who is taking reality and turning it into some way to escape is singing these songs that in our world, that's the audience, is reality, and then she's singing them, and the songs aren't the same. They're a little bit warped. They have like this underlying dark tone to them that makes them completely awesome and just a little bit creepy. And when you're walking through the asylum and these songs are playing, you're just like totally set in the scene. The music, the soundtrack makes it completely. I'm in love with it, but you guys should totally check it out. Emily Browning does awesome.
One more time, what was that?
She does awesome, so props to her. So the problems that I had with Sucker Punch were, well, the only problem I had with the movie itself was the last fight scene, which was with the robots. The robots kind of looked like they were just stolen from iRobot, which I understand we have to relate to something, but that wasn't the biggest problem. The biggest problem was the slow motion, which sucked. It just wasn't, it wasn't that visually stimulating. Like, it was cool and it reminded me of video games, but that's about it. What made up for it though was the second layer reality of it. The fact that Rocket dies, that completely just like takes you back into it, and because you're kind of sitting there for a bit like, okay, we get it, they're fighting, they're hot, cool. But the second that you see Rocket's taking a knife, you're in. Another thing that was a problem was the fact that it appealed to the wrong audience. You saw in the commercials action, hot chicks, and you're like, that's a total dude movie. No, I loved it. I'm a chick. Yeah, I play video games, but I know plenty of chicks that loved it. The problem with that being is that it was actually a thinker movie. Like, I walked out of there like dissecting the crap out of that thing. The different layers in it. Just like a shot alone that showed one of the key points that they needed to get through their mission to escape, one of the items. That alone like shows different shots, and all of it like comes together to build this one big jumble of a mess where you're just like talking about it, where you're just like, this means that and that means that, and it could just like, there's so many layers to it, it's so in depth that it's a thinker movie. It's not just there's some boobs and there's some ass and hot chicks and explosions and guns. It was actually a really well thought out movie, and I completely appreciate it. I'm going to see it again because I've already seen it a couple times, and I'm probably going to go home and not go home. When it comes out, I'm going to buy it. So I fully support Sucker Punch. Guys, go see it. I'm sorry I'm not in the baby doll costume. Please don't be mad. But Jessica Negri and I are going to go take some shots right now of me in the costume, and possibly we'll get some of her in the costume. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to make up for it, I promise. Okay, bye guys. Thanks very much. I didn't kill anything.